let's talk about that. Well, you said that you're allowing it. Like, in what ways? In what ways are you allowing the dragon to affect you?
Like when I notice it, I don't take a moment to process why it's there and what I could do instead.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my gut reaction
Mm-hmm.
overpowers, I guess that.
Yeah. Yeah. So instinctually, you just want her to feel what you're feeling at that moment, right?
Yeah, because she's not showing any emotion to me. I'm trying to get her to at least be angry at me and not just be a wall.
Okay. So you're feeding the
I guess
dragon.
my desire for connection is allowing this frustration to be really attractive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because, like, how else am I gonna get her to notice me? Since even if because in the past I've tried to say very calmly, nothing, and then a few times when I get really angry, she actually like looks at me for a second. I'm like, okay, like she acknowledged me.
Right.
I guess that's what makes me want to do it.
Yeah. So in some ways, you are feeding that dragon, so that the dragon can continue to exist. And what I'm hearing is you actually like it when the dragon is around, so that you can get some kind of emotional reaction from your partner. Do you think having the dragon around is beneficial for you long term?
Long term, probably not, since it does affect work.
Right.
And I don't want that.
You don't want that, because it sounds like you're pretty good at what you do, and you've been doing it for a while, from my understanding.
Yeah.
And so we can see how the dragon, when it's fed, can definitely wreak havoc on your work. Because you said you don't want to mess up anyone's eyebrows.
Yeah, no.
Then they'll leave you some kind of crazy review, right?
For sure.
So when are some times when you were able to control the dragon?
I mean, at work, I would say, like, it definitely, I said it was hard to hold in, especially when this one client comes and shares about her marital issues. I'm able to take a step back, breathe, and then just focus. Okay, like I can't mess up, you know. So that's been a way that I've stopped it. But it's hard at home since like Fiona's there, and the only thing that we connect with is that game, and I still love it, but every time I go on, I'm worried. And then she's banned too.
She's banned from it. Okay.
Since my friend found out about the conversation. So I know she's upset with me about that too. Since she likes to play as well. Yeah. It's hard at home.
Yeah, I can see it's very tense at home. And so her not being able to play gives her some incentive not to speak to you and not to interact with you.
Yeah, she blames me.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So I know home is very tense, and it's hard to communicate with your spouse. When you think of times where the dragon was present, but you didn't feed into it, what were you doing at home?
doing some sort of cleaning or then I shower also, like small little more mindless things. I've noticed, especially like cold water. Like I take a cold shower if I'm really frustrated. That helps.
Okay.
Like in the moment.
Yeah.
Since when I get frustrated, I get like warm in my body.
Yeah.
And with all these fears and stuff, because I had a previous therapist, and she was like, cooling down also the body. It can be a quick, short way to cool down your nervous system.
Yes.
So I've been doing that.
Okay. So you have some coping strategies when you see that dragon coming up. So there has been times in the past where you were able to use those coping strategies to help you not feed the dragon.
I guess, yes.
Yeah. And tell me about how that felt in that moment when you didn't feed the dragon.
It felt lighter.
Felt lighter? Okay. And what was your response? What was your partner's response when they noticed that you didn't give them the typical, you were not feeding the dragon, the typical response?
I noticed, sometimes when I go shower or do something else, like ignore her. Sometimes she like comes in and she's like, what is she doing? Kind of thing. And I just ignore her. Kind of, I don't know, sometimes it feels good to do that, because then like, you've been hurting me. This is what you do to me.
So you take this opportunity to retaliate through silence.
Yes.
So you are getting the response that you wanted, right? When you don't feed the dragon, because she comes around. But at the same time,
we don't talk.
You don't talk.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the dragon has a partner as well. Maybe the dragon's frustration has a partner named resentment. And so now your resentment is showing up in you giving her the cold shoulder. So they're feeding off of each other.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So your desired end is for communication, right? So tell me, what is your goal at the end for this session?
I guess how to deal with the resentment part. Since I believe the frustration, I have some ways to handle it. It's, I think finding ways to process that. The resentment, and figure out like, okay, am I doing it just to, I'm doing it so that I want to connect, but also like, is it maybe that my feelings about her? I know like the resentment has affected that too.
I see.
Get more clarity on
it. Okay, so going back to the frustration, we now know that there are times where you can control the dragon and you don't feed the dragon and you're actually getting the response that you wanted. So what is the larger belief, right, around your expectations for your partner and yourself?
I just expect better. Or expect some sort of back and forth exchange, some sort of reciprocation. That's the word I would say. Because I've given so much to her, and yes, I have been angry, and I know she sensed that, and she probably blamed me about the D&D, the whole thing. But I want her to recognize what she did and how that made me feel, because that could explain to her, like, okay, why she can't play anymore, or like realize that she did something that hurt me. Maybe to get some sort of feeling about it, so that, yeah, and if she does feel that way, then it's a proof to me that she does care.
Okay.
Because I'm not getting that from her.
You're not getting that from her. So when we think about like more for yourself and your partner in general, and being a partner, what does it mean to be a partner?
Spending time together, working on things together, and taking care of each other.
Taking care of each other, and you're not seeing that right now. Yeah. But you're doing your best though, in holding up your part of being present, of being willing to work things out and fix a relationship. But I commend you for not feeding the dragon the moments that you've had and not letting it take you off on a huge like emotional journey. But you were able to control yourself, right?
Yeah.
Even though you want this connection, you realize you can't control everyone. You can only control yourself. And by controlling yourself, you're sending a clear message that you care about this relationship, but you also care about you. And that's super important because we want you to take care of yourself, right? Self-care is super important. So moving forward, tell me how you can address the dragon in the future.
I can try to tell it to fly away.
Fly away? Yeah, fly away. You can do that.
Like more of like in my head. Maybe that'll do something.
Okay.
And cooling down. Kind of leaving the room helps, but I also find that sometimes when I leave, I can get carried away. And it's harder to control sometimes. Like if I'm alone.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed a few times I've tried to calm the dragon around Fiona. Sometimes I go off, but sometimes I do feel bad since she is going through a lot too.
Yeah.
And I can kind of understand why.
Okay. Yeah.
Why she's upset at me.
I see. So I understand that, and there's so many mixed emotions, right? But I do want to affirm that these are all valid emotions to feel. It's okay to feel this because you're human, and we all want to be in a very loving relationship, right?
Yeah.
So what's one goal you can have for this week in addressing the dragon?
Reminding myself that I have some control over it.
Very good.
Yeah.
You do have control over it.
Yeah.
And this is something that you want to do daily, or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, 'cause it does come up often.
Okay. And when do you think would be the best time to do it? In the moment or before you get home or?
I think probably before work.
Okay.
And then just to keep it in practice. Because I've noticed sometimes I forget about it, and then in the moment it's hard.
Yes.
So I'd say do it. I'm gonna try to do it when I'm not already feeling upset.
Okay.
To kind of make it more like routine.
Okay. So I hear your goal then this week is to remind yourself not to feed the dragon, and to keep that in the forefront of your mind that you do have control, and you're going to do that before you get home so that you prepare yourself mentally before you interact with Fiona.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So just to summarize what we talked about today, we talked about how your relationship with Fiona has brought up a lot of mixed emotions for you, and you know, you are a caregiver for her and you've invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, emotion into the relationship. And in many ways, she's stonewalling you. She's not communicating. And that has led to you really feeding this dragon of frustration by exhibiting characteristics that are unlike you, you know, like lashing out, which you don't enjoy doing. But you have realized that there are times where you were able to control the dragon.
Yes.
And you have these amazing coping skills, right? Where you know, like, okay, if I just walk away, if I clean, if I take a nice cold shower, then I can cool off my body and I can refocus my mind. And that in turn has also shown you some changes in Fiona's behavior, positive changes. So I do appreciate the fact that you recognize what's happening physically in your body, and you know, like, you do have some strategies to help you to cope when that dragon comes around.
Yes.
So thank you so much. That's excellent. Excellent job, really. So I will call my assistant and we will schedule another time for next week so we can continue talking about what that experience was like when you addressed your partner, or when you actually didn't talk to her but you actually cooled down. You didn't feed the dragon, and I want to know what happened.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming in, Donna. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.